Welcome to Crochet 101. For more information about this series and all other videos in this series, you can check out the Crochet 101 playlist on my profile. Today we're going to be continuing our look at beginner specialty stitches, and we're going to be covering the plaid stitch. And obviously this is a pretend cookbook that I made. I made a very great little cover for it. It not only works good as covers for pretend cookbooks, this also works well for blankets, scarves. You can make some really cute sweaters and like home accessories for it. And as complicated as this stitch may look to you, it's truly one of the easiest, like, fun stitches to do. So let's get into it. Usually you're going to do this in 3 different colors to kind of get this plaid effect, but you can do this in 1 color, 2 color, whatever combination that you want to do. We're going to be doing 3 today though. So let's get started with our first color, and we are going to chain a multiple of 6. So we're going to start off with 32 chains. As a reminder, all of the techniques that I discuss here should have been discussed in previous Crochet 101 lessons. So if you need a little refresher on chaining, single crochet, double crochet, anything like that, you can go back and find those lessons on the Crochet 101 playlist. All right, so we have our initial chains established, and I maybe do this a little bit differently than other people. This is how I do my plaid stitch, and I think it's just the easiest way to do it. So we're going to start by chaining 2. 1, 2, and then we're going to skip 2 chains, 1, 2, the chains we just made, and we're going to put a double crochet into this stitch right here. So into the 3rd stitch, you're going to do a double crochet, and then into the next stitch, you're going to put a double crochet, for a total of what will be 3 double crochet. Now, for me personally, I feel like because I want a nice clean edge, this chain here doesn't feel like a very good double crochet to me. Usually when you start a project and you'll use chains to establish your first double crochets just to get up to height, but for me it doesn't leave a nice clean edge, so I'm actually going to ignore this chain, and we are going to put another double crochet for a total of 3 actual double crochet in our first piece of the plaid stitch. So ignore that, and you have your first 1, 2, 3 double crochet. And now we are going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We are going to skip 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. And into the 4th, we are going to put a double crochet. And I think you can already start to see how our pattern is getting established. So you're going to put a double crochet there. Into the next chain, you're going to put a double crochet. And into the next chain, you're going to put a double crochet. And then we're going to chain 3. And then we're going to skip 3, 1, 2, 3, and put a double crochet into this 4th chain here. Double crochet into the 2nd chain, and into the 3rd, another one for another total of 3 double crochet. And you're going to continue this all the way down your line of chains until you have something that looks like this. And before we close up our last loop, so before I yarn over and pull through one more time, I'm actually going to grab my 2nd color and switch over to it. So now we'll be working with this more mauve-y color. I'm going to chain 1 just to lock it in place and turn my work. So we are starting this row off having already chained 1. We're going to chain 3 more. 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to put our next 3 double crochet into these chains right down here. So you're going to do it just like you did all of your other double crochet. You're going to yarn over. You're going to ignore this chain that you did right here. You're going to go into that chain, pull up a loop, you're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and you're going to do that again into the next chain. And this is, you're really going to start to see your plaid stitch kind of pull itself together here. And then find that last chain, put a double crochet into there, pull up a loop, And there is your next set of 3 double crochet. I guess it's not a set, it's 3. And then we are going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and once again you are going to put 3 double crochet into these chains here. And you're just going to continue the same pattern down the line. You're going to put double crochet into all of these chains that you have from the previous row, and you're going to chain 3 over the double crochets that you did the last row. So we reached the end of our second row, and now what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch into this last chain here, but we're actually going to switch over to our last color for it. So I've slip stitched through my pink, and I'm going to chain 3. And now, once again, I like to ignore the chains for the plaid stitch. So I'm going to put 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, into these blank spots that we have underneath our chain spaces. So you're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through, and 3 double crochet there. And then once again, you are going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and you're going to put 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, into these chains here, and we're just going to continue this pattern all the way down. So once again, we put double crochet into the 3 blank chains that we have from the row below. And then we chain over the blocks of double crochet that we did in the row previously. So I finished off my third row, and the great thing about working with 3 colors like this is the next color I'm going to be using is this maroon color here, and it's here and waiting for us to just switch over to it before we pull through our last loop. So there are very few ends to weave in with this particular stitch, which I know a lot of you are going to appreciate because you're probably already hating weaving in ends like all good crocheters do. So we are once again going to start this row by chaining 1 to close it up, and then chaining 3, 1, 2, 3, and here's your work ready for you to put 1, 2, 3 double crochet into the blank chains from previous, or I should say the skipped over chains, and then chaining over these blocks of double crochet here. So I have reached the end of my row, and I've once again slip stitched into my next color, which is here waiting for me. And you can just continue this project on like this. The one thing I will say is when you are ready to finish it off, if you don't want to have these like chains hanging over the top, what you're going to do is instead of doing 3 chains over the previous blocks, you're going to single crochet into them. So what I mean by that is, let's pretend this is my last row. I want to finish my project off. I'm going to do 3 double crochet into these blank spaces here. And here where I would usually chain over, I'm just going to single crochet into them. So 1, 2, and 3. And here you are ready to do your next 3 double crochet. And then rather than having weird chains hanging around getting snagged on things, you'll have a nice clean top to your project. So that's our lesson for today. Go out and practice the plaid stitch. It's a really good practice for chaining and double crocheting and just getting used to color work in general. And I will see you guys for our next lesson.